Hi, it's Sam Musa here from Remax. Real estate agents spend a lot of time in their car driving around the community.
Lay down and then I'll pop up.
In this series, I'll be talking all things real estate with many special guests. Let's go for a ride. Hey guys, it's Sam from SMR in the car, and we've drove this time and we're in Dunrobin at Humble Creek Homes, and we're here to interview a couple of neat people that have done some phenomenal stuff. Welcome to the world of tiny homes. Have you ever seen a tiny home on wheels? Check this one out. Okay, so most asked questions on Google. Are you ready?
Sure.
Are tiny homes legal in Ottawa?
Tiny homes can be both tiny homes on wheels and coach homes. Coach homes are legal, definitely. Tiny homes on wheels, stay tuned. We're pulling a proof of concept permit to show that they can be legal enough.
Can I put a tiny home on my land?
Definitely. And with the new bill that Doug Ford got pushed in November, depending on your property, it could be 2, 3, almost 4 tiny homes.
Okay. I guess that would depend on planning and the municipal.
That's right.
Okay. And is it legal to live in a tiny home in Ontario?
It is, as long as you have your proper permit in place and it meets the qualifications on your property, and that your tiny home meets all Ontario building codes.
Okay. And do you need a permit for a tiny home in Ontario?
Definitely. Some townships don't allow you to have tiny homes, but locally around here, like Perth, Rockland, you allow tiny homes on wheels. And again, more news with Ottawa, what we're trying to do. But yeah, definitely. Okay.
Biggest question I have, bathroom and tubs. What are the options?
There's multiple options for bathrooms and tubs, toilets and tubs. You can have this one here that we see behind us as a compost toilet, as a stand-up shower. You want to try to reduce the space. You want to try to maximize the space, so we always recommend stand-up showers, but we always do tubs. This one here has a tub. And the compost toilets is an option, but you could also do holding tanks, gray water holding tanks, or connect right to the septic. Have an evacuation like this one here. We have an evacuation system, so you have the holding tank, and then the holding tank is connected to their evacuation system of whatever site that you want.
Is one more popular than the other?
The holding tank one is more popular. Compost toilets is not as popular,
right?
But it's more convenient for sure.
Yeah.
But it's not as popular.
How much does a typical tiny home cost?
There is a misconception that tiny homes are cheap. You have to also consider that you're putting high cost spaces like a kitchen and bathroom in a smaller space. So an average tiny home costs between $395 to $425 per square foot.
And that's total build cost?
Complete finished product, yeah.
And that would depend, I guess, what kind of finishings they want to put in.
That's right. Any upgrades, or if someone wants to put in a golden toilet, then obviously it's going to cost them more.
Got it.
How can I get a tiny home? What are my financing options?
So there's a lot of financing options when it comes to tiny homes. If you already own a property, or if you have a mortgage, you can tap into the equity in your mortgage. We also do work with a company called Canadian Financial. They are experts at providing financial products at really great rates. You can get a tiny home right now at a rate of between 6 and 7%, which is really close to what the mortgage rates are right now. Mm-hmm. But they're a lot cheaper than a regular mortgage, between $120,000 to say $140,000 over a span of 20 to 30 years. The mortgage, the monthly payments are going to be very low compared to it.
So, do you have to own land to put a tiny home on?
No, currently we're working with property owners that are willing to host tiny home owners. So they'll make the investment of running the services to be able to host this tiny home. And then after that, the tiny home owner would be connected with them to host it.
Is a tiny home typically built on a trailer or built on a foundation?
A tiny home on wheels is built on a steel chassis that meets MTO and Transport Canada qualifications. A coach home will be built the exact same way as a traditional dwelling.
Do people buy tiny homes as rental properties, like short-term investments, Airbnbs, that kind of thing?
Right, absolutely. Tiny homes are great investment opportunities. You can do short-term rentals, you can do long-term rentals, Airbnb. You can rent them out long-term. You could do that with a tiny home on wheels. You could also do that with a coach home. A coach home is a secondary unit to your primary residence, and so it's totally detached, and it could be pretty far away from the house, and so you could have that sort of privacy from your tenants if you so choose. But there is a lot of investment opportunities with tiny homes and a good return on investment.
But we're not driving anymore.
That's okay. We're still in the car.
Yeah, we're still there. SMR sitting in the car.
It's a good, what is it? I got you. It's a good life.
I got you and it's a good life. Yeah, exactly.